Peace and light, family. My name is Nikki Dixon, aka Concrete Rose, and welcome to the Rose Garden. I'm super happy to be sharing another vibe session with you guys because it is on a beloved subject that, just we all deal with. And I just really want to know what's with the force. And what's the force? The force of conforming to societal norms, conforming to what people want you to be when that's not really who you are. Um, and that's really what inspired this video. I kind of go in a little bit more on the topic on my website, www.lakeconcreterose.com. So definitely go ahead and read that post. It is called Cure of Conformity. Did I say that right? Conformity. I feel like I said that weird. But I just want to know, why do we conform? Especially because we are all born with a divine right to be authentic, to be true to ourselves, to be different. Because in being different, we can perform amazing tasks, go above and beyond the call of duty. When we're being true to ourselves, when we are doing what we love, and still being true to who we are. When we're being true to ourselves, we know who we are when we don't have to put on a mask or a facade for anybody. That's when we flourish because we're fresh. We know how we think. We like know how we want to move because we're in our zone, and that's okay because it's okay to be different. Basically, it's totally okay. However, through, throughout society, like there's always been a set of societal norms, and we are fit into this box of thinking one way, doing certain tasks that are acceptable within society, being a force to move one way, like just a set standard and sticking to that standard. And that's not fair to any of us because what if we learn a different way? What if we view things a different way? What if we speak differently, have a different understanding, then that really throws everything off because we were never meant to be the same. That's just kind of plain and simple. And when we are forced to conform and have a one way of thinking, that forces us to compare ourselves to the next person. And when we start comparing ourselves to somebody, we lose our sense of self because we're focused on them. And how can we be true to ourselves when we're focused on the next person? And that kind of can be seen in any structure, whether it be our family, school, maybe like maybe a group of friends or an organization, our job, things of that nature. And like, don't get me wrong, we need rules. We need rules, we laws and all of that to keep us sticking with our morals and values, but we have universal law. And when everybody's on that accord, then everything comes in sync and we can be different and authentic while still sticking to these laws, because it becomes second nature because we're in the flow of things, the natural flow of things. And but however, there's always a set standard in something that we are maybe emotionally involved with, we give our time to, things of that nature. We like then feel that we have to conform with how everybody thinks and works and dresses and moves in life. It's like we begin to take on each other's personalities because we're so fixated on trying to be more like them, trying to make them comfortable, trying to make them happy, to where we forget what makes us happy and what makes us comfortable, and we lose ourselves. And when we lose ourselves, our soul is tainted, and we just kind of lose sight of who we are, and then we begin to suppress all of our inner knowing, all of our inner feelings, all of the things that set our soul on fire, because now we are conforming and complying to a set standard of what other people expect us to be versus what we know ourselves to be and what we expect ourselves to be. And sometimes that throws us into a world of confusion and chaos, because now we're in that tug of war, and that's so not fair to any of us. That's so not fair. And also, when we are forced to compare ourselves, then that throws us into another world of jealousy and envy. And like, that's just like feeding a beast. Like, then like we are really lost. We are really lost, because now we feel like we have this image to uphold. We have to keep up with what everybody else is doing, and conforming to what these people, maybe not even the whole society, but like what like that community of people expect of me. Like, we have to conform to whatever that standard is. And it's just really, really unhealthy in so many ways. It really puts us in a different headspace and a different way of thinking than what we may be used to. A different person. We become a different person, and like, now that mask, that facade is stuck. We get stuck in that way of living. And that can probably throw us off of our path of what we're supposed to do. And some things that I really try to be mindful of doing when I feel like I'm in competition is I try to unplug myself. I may not be on social media as much unless I'm posting something, because social media and like reality TV, those things shift and set the standard of what we're supposed to be. We're in our phones, locked in, scrolling, or on the TV, and that's the standard. And sometimes we like fall into that without even realizing it. And one thing that is a really good mindful tool is looking at people for inspiration instead of looking at them as the example, because we set that standard, an example of who we need to be as a person, because we decide what resonates with us on a mental level, spiritual, and physical level. So that's that. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you resonated with it in some way. Continue to like and share. And I'm on my 3rd month of my freeform journey, and this video was definitely inspired by that. It's growing very well. So peace and light, family.